When I first started work with Cunard in the City of London, they put me behind bars, actually in the accounts and cashier's office. Staff and customer were separated by a barrier, for security reasons, of course. Barriers and boundaries come in all shapes and sizes and impinge on our daily lives at home and globally. And there are good reasons for many of these, both good and bad. Some keep people safe, while others humiliate and degrade other human beings. But it's not just physical barriers and boundaries that exist. There are also social ones which affect our daily lives, consciously or otherwise. How we love our barriers and boundaries, especially when they make us feel safe and secure and in control, especially of others. Our gospel story from Matthew today finds Jesus negotiating a barrier of his day. We meet Jesus crossing to foreign parts in search of a brief holiday from the demands of his ministry. Unfortunately, a woman is desperate enough to interrupt his holiday with a plea for help. Her daughter is suffering from a mental illness, and she'll try anything, even this rather bad-tempered looking Jewish healer. Jesus' first response to her is rather sharp. He has enough to do. He can't spend his valuable time paying attention to the needs of the dogs, those outside his field of activity. The woman accepts Jesus' identification of her as an outsider. All she can do is beg for the scraps that fall from the table. But a scrap is all she needs. She challenges Jesus to let her collect a scrap of healing from him, and he hears her challenge and heals her daughter. Matthew is telling this story to an early church community still struggling with those who should be included in the church. He makes the point that the Jewish roots of the faith are still important, but those who are not Jewish are also entitled to receive God's grace through Jesus. They can do it as they are without becoming Jews first. After so many centuries of Christianity as a predominantly Gentile religion, it can be hard for us to see what all the fuss is about. But similar challenges still face the church today. Who should be included? Are there people who are not welcome in our churches? It's not long since black people were being told, politely but firmly, that they did not fit in regular English congregations. For example, there are still places where gay people, people of colour, or those with dubious reputations feel on the outside looking in, whatever the exclusion is spoken or not. Jesus seems to have gone out of his way to cross boundaries, to accept the unacceptable, to associate with the excluded. The Syro-Phoenician woman interrupts his holiday to teach Jesus that not only prostitutes, tax collectors, lepers, but even Gentile outsiders belong in the kingdom of God. For in God's kingdom, there are no barriers or boundaries. All are welcome.